They're starting to combine the Terapagos. I mean, I think I'm down to just spam Snarl and combine here. Offsetting their special attack boosts. They do still get the special defense, but part of the reason I was so insistent on leading with Lunala and aggressively calm-minding with it is that I'm ahead in the setup war. Welcome back to VGC Legends. It's a series where I spin a wheel, I get a random legendary or mythical Pokemon, I speed build a team around that Pokemon, and I try the team out on the Regulation J ladder. I do this for two reasons, of course. As always, one, I just really like legendary and mythical Pokemon, and I want to give each one a little bit of a spotlight. And the other is that by speed building a bunch of different teams, some good, some bad, some in between, and trying them out on the ladder, I have a fun little gameplay adventure here and maybe learn some things along the way. Time to spin the wheel. We are starting to see a lot of mythical Pokemon come off the board here in Regulation J, but could be a legendary, could be a mythical. We'll see what we get. Like, we are just dodging Gen 6, still nothing from that. Instead, I believe we have our first generation finished here. Lunala was the only Pokemon from Gen 7 remaining on the wheel, and Gen 7 is the very first one to be completely done. As soon as we get our Lunala gameplay in here, of course. Of course, Gen 7 is nerfed a bit by a bunch of its legendaries and mythicals not being in Scarlet and Violet. Type Null and Silvally, the 4 Tapu, Marshadow, Zeraora, not Zarude, Zeraora, Melton, and Melmetal. So all the mythicals except Magearna, and 6 of the legendaries. Out of, what, 11 legendaries total? That's a lot of Gen 7 not represented in Scarlet and Violet. Nonetheless, got a few Gen 7 videos, and Lunala here will be the last one. What do I want to do with Lunala? My first thought is bulky Calm Mind setup. You'd think I'd be a bit burned out on bulky Calm Mind setup after Kyogre and Arceus, and you know what? I think I actually kind of am. Maybe I should do a Meteor Beam set, or I don't know. It's probably just going to be bulky Calm Mind setup. What's nice about Lunala, of course, is it gets Wide Guard, so although, actually, last time I used Lunala in this format, I missed having Protect, right? I ran Calm Mind, Moon Geist Beam, Moon Blast, Wide Guard, Fair Fairy. I didn't love that I couldn't Protect. Except against spread moves. Next to something like Darkrai, though. Still, I think that might be the way to go, once again. And yeah, I think for the Lunala feature, that's fine. The alternative is what, like a Meteor Beam set, or see how Miraidon Lunala holds up with Electric Seed Lunala in Reg J. That could be fun. Miraidon ought to be good in Reg J. It stops Darkrai from putting things to sleep. I don't know. I think I just want to try to set up Calm Mind Lunala. I could do... Miraidon is a restricted partner anyway, but I think I'd rather have Rillaboom. And that terrain. Could do both terrains, but I think something like this is okay. Rillaboom and Incineroar. Good setup enabling buddies. What restricted partner do I want then? Probably a fighting type, like Koraidon or Zamazenta. Probably a fighting type like Koraidon or Zamazenta. Could do fighting Arceus. I don't think so, though. I can do Koraidon. Raging Bolt. Right? That's a good bouncy Pokemon that also is powered up by Koraidon. Setting the sun. And then... this is where often I would just slap on a Rapid Strike or Shifu, but I'm a little bit hesitant. I haven't been getting as much use out of that Pokemon in recent videos as I expected, plus it is, of course, weakened by my own Koraidon. That's the main thing here. could do Screamtail and have a Perish Song endgame mode. No trap, just if I get 2 quick KOs, I perish them. But I'm not sure this team is really optimized for that. I could do Fluttermane. That gives me a fairy type without having to terrestrialize Lunala. I could do like Assault Vest Walking Wake. If I do Assault Vest Walking Wake though, then it's not Assault Vest Rillaboom. I could do a different Walking Wake. I could do like Choice Band Rillaboom or Miracle Seed. Haven't tried one of those in a while. I think Walking Wake is speaking to me. I don't know whether it should be. I'll move it up here so I have the Fire, Water, Grass core together. And somehow this turned into a Rhydon team with Combine Lunala as well. But, hey, we'll give it a go. I do like Assault Vest Walking Wake. The last couple times I tried it, it was pretty good. I'm actually going to do a quick... Even though Top Cut Explorer is not of a ton of use for Reg J, because there are no Reg J events to explore, I'm going to take a quick look at what kinds of Walking Wake people were using in Bologna, assuming it shows up here. But I think it will, right? It has a place in the meta. Yeah, there were 4 Walking Wake in the top 256. And actually only 1 Assault Vest, 2 of them had Life Orb. 1 Terra Fire, 1 Terra Steel, they all had Draco Meteor, Hydro Steam, and Protect, and then it was Flamethrower or Snarl. Let's take a look at the Snarl one. Okay, it was a Koraidon, Shadow Rider, Weezing team. I don't know how much that really tells me here. Or how much I can really get out of that. Here's a team by Matteo Ferrari. I do think I like Snarl on Walking Wake here, though. I guess if I were running Assault Vest, I'd probably have Aqua Jet instead of Protect. Yeah. That's also a Weezing team. Maybe Walking Wake is not the right fit, but I don't know. Fire, Water, Grass core, Snarl, not nerfed by Sun. It looks kind of pleasant to have here on paper, at least. I'll give it a go. Koraidon. Clear Amulet or Life Orb? I'm going to say Life Orb. I'm going to say I just want this thing hitting very hard, so probably, yeah, Life Orb, Close Combat, Max Attack stuff. Flare Blitz, Flame Charge. If I run Max Attack, then I probably want to be able to get the speed somehow, right? So Flame Charge for speed boosting could be valuable. Terra Fire. I'll do Life Orb Walking Wake and stick with good old Assault Vest Rillaboom. I think, yeah. Incineroar. I could do like a Lumberry even instead of a Rocky Helmet. Because I don't actually have much to prevent Darkrai from putting things to sleep. I mean, I have a decent amount, right? Koraidon. I don't actually know whether it's faster if they run max speed Darkrai. And my Koraidon is adamant. It feels like an interaction I should know. Oh well. Alright, let's find out together. Darkrai, max speed, 194, Koraidon, 252 adamant, Darkrai's faster. But after a Flame Charge, it's not faster anymore. And I have Walking Wake, boosting speed, I have Raging Bolt priority, Rillaboom priority. Some of this is stopped though by Tailwind on the opposing team. Maybe I could use Tailwind. Maybe I should use Suicune instead of Walking Wake even. But I don't think so. I think we're just gonna play with this, and we get what we get in terms of Tailwind matchups. But yeah, your basic Assault Vest Rillaboom, Incineroar. So the point of that was how much Darkrai counterplay do I have? Do I want Rocky Helmet or Safety Goggles? I think I might want Safety Goggles actually. I don't have much Spore Immunity, and I don't have much of a Trick Room mode, or much play for Trick Room. Walking Wake, we'll go with the Life Orb, we'll go Terra, well hang on, Hydro Steam, Draco Meteor, Snarl, Protect. We'll go Terra, Walking Wake is weak to Fire, no it's not, it can turn into a Fire type to resist Fairy, that's what I think that Terra type is for, that's what I meant, it's weak to Fairy, Dragon. I do Terra Steel. Is that really valuable though? Would I rather have an offensive Terror type? I'm never really sure with Walking Wake. And then as far as EVs go, the big thing is I want to boost speed in Sun, so the special attack has to be 1 point lower than the speed because it's not even random when you have a speed tie for photosynthesis. I think it just goes in order. So special attack would always be chosen over speed if they're tied. And then for Raging Bolt, a magnet, I guess. Booster energy is still worth considering because it would give me the boost outside of Sun. Assault Vest is already taken, Life Orb is already taken. I think Magnet's probably fine. How do I beat Magirna with this? Not sure I do. Rhydon, Walking Wake. If it's an Annihilate Magirna thing, Rhydon, Walking Wake, attack the Annihilate before it can move. Flare Blitz Magirna, but Magirna could Terrastallize around that. Maybe 3 Dragon types. Maybe this is not the format for 3 Dragon types. But you know what? We're going to find out together. I'm going to fill in the spreads and we'll see how this goes. I definitely think there are some question marks around this team in Reg J, but we'll find out. And here we go, bringing the past to Regulation J. Let's see how it holds up. I did decide to run Flare Blitz on Incineroar. It's something I've talked about lately. If I'm afraid of Magirna, maybe I want that little bit of extra damage available into it, at least before it Terrastalizes. No Will-O-Wisp this time. Do have Intimidate, of course. But yeah, Flare Blitz, boosted by the sun. Ought to hit things pretty hard, but might be more of an emergency button. We'll see how it goes. Otherwise, the team is, I think, pretty much as presented. I guess I could also consider your high horsepower on Rillaboom. I'll stick with U-turn for now. We'll see what happens. Let's go. I have 2 Life Orbs. Where's the second? Oh, Koraidon. Huh. Missed that. 1, 2. What do I run a Walking Wake? Alright, I'll just do Clear Amulet Koraidon. Shiny Lunala preview there. Good shiny. For sure. Oh, Rain Team. Ludicolo, Kyogre, Tornadus, Primarina, Zacian. No Magirna, but 2 fairies against all my dragons. And an Urshifu. Probably Rapid Strike form, right? But honestly, it might not be. Okay, so Raging Bolt and Walking Wake are both strong into this stuff. Lunala might be as well under the right circumstances. In fact, I could maybe lead Lunala Bolt here, or Lunala Wake, or I could just lead Bolt Wake. I actually like Bolt Wake here. Threaten the Zacian if they lead with that. I'll bring Lunala, and I could bring Rillaboom. I could bring Koraidon. Koraidon has a hard time in, not that hard a time in their Tailwind actually, because it has the sun. Okay, I'll do that. I'm leading my two Paradox, well, 2 of my 3 Paradox Dragons against Ludicolo and Tornadus. Ludicolo could go for Fake Out here. But I think I'm down to just, I'll Snarl. Probably Covert Cloak Torn. Snarling Ludicolo could be useful though. I think I just want to take out the Torn if I can. I'm just gonna double into that. They don't Fake Out. They just Bleak Wind Storm, and they get both speed drops. Ludicolo doesn't have Swift Swim active. They go for Icy Wind. They miss that into Bolt. They hit Wake. They take out Torn. They never set Tailwind. Bolt's now at -1 speed. Wake at -2. I want to at least get Wake off the field here. Or maybe I want to sack Wake to get somebody else in. I actually think what I'm going to do this turn is just protect Wake. Terra Electric, Thunderbolt, Zacian. Play Rough, doesn't KO. Ludicolo goes for Energy Ball into Walking Wake, so I'll get the Thunderbolt off. It doesn't KO either, but of course I can Thunderclap it next turn. Also, it's paralyzed and they forfeit. That was a weird game. Don't know that I have much to say about that one, but a win's a win. Didn't get Lunala on the field, obviously. Walking Wake and Raging Bolt took care of things by themselves. Maybe they're still strong. More games to come, of course. Arceus, Shadow Rider, Calyrex, Weezing. Yeah, I think Weezing makes a lot of sense on these teams because normal Arceus doesn't use its ability anyway. And of course, Shadow Rider isn't affected by neutralizing gas. I could see that being a very disruptive composition. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't think of Weezing for my first Drake J video. Although I used Lunala, not Shadow Rider in that one, so that would have been multiple steps ahead, I guess. Then they have Rillaboom and Incineroar and Raging Bolt. Can I get Lunala set up on this? Maybe. It'd be bad if they poison it, though, with Weezing. So maybe I don't want to lead Lunala. Maybe I want to lead, like, Koraidon, Walking Wake. Or, honestly, even Walking Wake, Raging Bolt again. I don't know. What do I have to pressure Weezing? Lunala is actually reasonable for pressuring Weezing as well. The thing is, if they lead Weezing and I lead Koraidon, I don't get the Sun. I'm gonna do Lunala, Raging Bolt, Koraidon, Rillaboom. It's a little bit weird, but what I'm looking for is just aggressively Calm Mind. I don't know, this is tough. I think I'm just looking to damage Weezing right now. Does this even work? Or do I need to wide guard to stop poison gas? Oh, clicked cancel, but it was too late. Okay, Weezing takes Thunderbolt. It goes Strange Steam into Raging Bolt. No poison gas. Alright. Alright, I'll Terra Fairy and Calm Mind, and I'm just trying to get rid of this Weezing. Actually gonna Moongeist Beam Weezing and look to break a sash on the Calyrex. I do want to start Calm Minding, but I don't want to get poisoned in the process. They switch it out. Okay, Arceus will take no damage from the Moongeist Beam because it's a normal type. We do get the Thunderclap into Calyrex before they KO Bolt. Okay, Rillaboom. I'm just going to Moonblast and Fake Out Arceus, I think. If it could go for Extreme Speed, and I think that will have higher priority than Fake Out, if I understand my directions correctly. Okay. They just double protect, get around the Fake Out with that. That makes sense. I'm not Calm Minding when I should. I've had 2 chances now to Calm Mind, and I didn't take either one. I'm going to throw a Wood Hammer into this slot. Could catch Weezing switching back in. Weezing's pretty low and it's a strong attack. But also just getting rid of Calyrex would be nice if I can. Before it snowballs anymore. But I do think Calm Mind Lunala might just not hold up against a restricted duo like this. We'll see. I just don't have good answers for Arceus if it goes for Sword Stance here. But I don't have a good way to stop it from doing that either. I will KO the Calyrex. But I can't even, I mean, Grassy Glide would only do so much to Arceus anyway. It's a bulky Mon, but I can't even really do it because Extreme Speed has higher priority. Let's see if they give me their Bolt here. Do I need to preserve Rillaboom for a Fake Out? I still don't really see the line there. I'll go for Grassy Glide into Arceus, but I think they'll Extreme Speed me first. Extreme Speed Lunala. Okay, I guessed wrong. I could have gotten a big Wood Hammer into Arceus there. Would have done somewhat more. We take out the Bolt. So it's just Arceus and Weezing now. Arceus can... Out of all the choices I made in this game, terrestrializing Lunala might actually have been the worst one. Although Arceus could have Shadow Claw or something, I don't know. Arceus can KO either one of my Pokemon here with extreme speed. I think what I'm going to do is just double into the... They'll probably protect Weezing. Oh, and I can't terrestrialize Koraidon and I lose it to Strange Steam. Alright, I'm just going to attack Arceus because I think they'll protect Weezing. I'm wrong. They don't. Why didn't they? Weezing just beats Koraidon in the back if they make sure it doesn't go down there. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll crit the Arceus here with this Wood Hammer. Weezing survives the Flare Blitz. Okay, yeah, that's GG. Oh, no crit, and it almost KO'd anyway, but yeah, only got almost KOs on both of their mons. Alright. That one was, I mean, the Arceus didn't run away with that game exactly like I thought it might, but the result was the same. Not sure what I'll do if I run into another of those, but for now we've got Volcanion, Koraidon, Chi-Yu, Incineroar, Fluttermane, and Gastrodon. Very fiery team. 3 fire types and something that looks like a fire type, and often is one once the game has gotten started. Chi-Yu is obviously an issue for Lunala, but I could lead like Koraidon Walking Wake here and threaten it. I think I just bring Koraidon Walking Wake. Oh, they have Gastrodon though for the Hydro Steam. Well, Walking Wake just wants to drop Draco Meteors, I think, then. I think I want to do Koraidon, Wake, Bolt, Lunala here. They lead Koraidon and Chi-Yu. And yeah, I think no thoughts, just Terra Fire, Close Combat, Draco Meteor. I'm not clicking Hydro Steam because of the Gastrodon. Actually, let's swap those targets around. Maybe I should double into their Koraidon. I don't know, it could protect. I could see that this turn. Their Fire. No Gastrodon switch in, but the Draco Meteor takes out the Koraidon, so that's fine. I hope. Unless that special attack drop bites me later, but we actually just get 2 KOs this turn. I saw that my Koraidon was faster than their Chi-Yu because of the order in which the ability is activated. That one must not have been Scarf Chi-Yu. I'm down to just keep attacking and try to win with my Pokemon in the back. They didn't bring Gastrodon to this game. Actually, if I can get a Snarl here, that would be nice. Fluttermane's faster than Walking Wake, though, right? So I probably can't, but it would be nice. Oh, Walking Wake takes the Dazzling Gleam, actually. We do get a Snarl, so we lower special attack into both of these forever. They can't switch out. They're the last 2 Pokemon. We also just KO'd the Fluttermane there. Volcanion, and now all they have left is -1 Volcanion. It takes out Koraidon, but it's just gonna lose to Raging Bolt. I don't get Lunala onto the field in this one, most likely, but I can even get another Snarl into it. So hey, the team got a win, but I don't know how much work Lunala has really been putting in so far. Oh well. Sometimes these things develop in a way that isn't exactly what I anticipated. What's next? Hoopa Unbound. Okay, it's Hoopa Psy Spam. With Hoopa, Ice Rider, Calyrex, Torkoal, Okidogi, Iron Crown, and Indeedee. The Torkoal is interesting. It's not a hard Trick Room team, but they definitely have a hard, or not hard, they definitely have a Trick Room mode. They don't have Wide Guard. Walking Wake can snarl this stuff. I think Koraidon Walking Wake puts a lot of pressure into this team as a lead. Right? Because I can snarl Hoopa, Torkoal, Crown, Indeedee. Can't redirect that. The Ice Rider Calyrex is a problem. What I'm looking to do if I see that in the lead is, I guess, just Terrafire, Flare Blitz, or Close Combat, but that probably does get redirected into Indeedee. But maybe I can Draco Meteor Indeedee and Flare Blitz the Calyrex if I see that lead. Maybe I can get away with that. I'll bring Incineroar. It's my Dark type. It's strong defensively into a lot of these, and I'll bring... Gotta bring the other restricted, right? Lunala's not doing a lot so far in this video. Let's see what we can do about that. But Koraidon and friends just put out so much pressure in so many of these games. They lead Okie Dogie Calyrex, which is a lead that I didn't see coming. I don't know what the Okie Dogie does here. But, okay. If I Flare Blitz Calyrex, what Terra types cover for that? Mainly, Calyrex runs a ton of different Terra types. Mainly Dragon, Fire, and Water. So I think I want to do that and Draco Meteor. They go in DD. Oh, they're just protecting here? Yeah, okay. I still don't get to see their Terra type. Could be Grass, or I've even seen Ice lately. I'm just going to Flare Blitz again, and I'm going to hope that this takes out the Indeedee. It doesn't. So we'll KO Indeedee, but not deny the Trick Room. A little unfortunate. Well, I mean, you know, well executed by the opponent. And here's Hoopa. Alright, let's get Incineroar in, I think. And protect Walking Wake this turn. Clear Amulet Calyrex. Hyperspace Fury immediately. That did a fair bit of damage. Okay, crit. Oh, and they high horsepower immediately. That makes sense. That slot was pretty pinned, right? I think I have to go Lunala and Terra Fairy immediately here. I don't like, but I think that's the play. Oh, I used my Terra already. Okay, that's a bit of a problem running Koraidon and Lunala together, huh? Alright, well the Hoopa's slower than the Calyrex, so Hyperspace Fury will at least go into my Shadow Shield. That's something, I guess. Yeah, that actually didn't do it. I have no understanding of these Hyperspace Fury calcs, because that first one crit and then the other one went into Shadow Shield. You could tell me anything about how strong this attack is and I might believe you. You get the Moonblast drop, I don't think it's going to be enough to save this game. Maybe I can at least deny Calyrex 1 KO here with Wide Guard. Ah, it's over. Okay, once they got Trick Room up, this one was just doomed. I forgot that Hyperspace Fury breaks protections. I haven't seen that interaction before, probably ever. I'm sure I knew about it at some point, but this is probably my first time ever seeing it in a game. Well, good to know. Hey, good partner for Ice Rider Calyrex then, if it breaks through Wide Guard with that. Okay, we got Terapagos, Miraidon, Incineroar, Sinistcha, Grimmsnarl, and Comfey. So they really want to set up their Calm Mind Terapagos, which is not great for me. I'm gonna lead my restricteds here. Koraidon is my best threat into Terapagos. It also, I suppose, is one of my better threats into Miraidon. Does that work? I guess I have to be more intentional than I've been in a matchup like this about which restricted Pokemon I'm terastallizing. Right? Because, like, if Koraidon is threatened immediately by Miraidon, what does that do for me? That said, if Koraidon is threatened immediately by Miraidon, then Miraidon is not so focused on Lunala. Incineroar kind of worries me from the Lunala side of things, but I don't know. Just have to play around and try to figure it out. I'll bring Rillaboom and Walking Wake. Walking Wake can help me threaten the Incineroar, maybe. They lead Miraidon and Comfey. Is it Calm Mind Miraidon? I'm just going for my Calm Mind immediately. I think I'm actually down to preserve the Koraidon this turn and go Rillaboom. Turn off their electric terrain. It does mean the Comfey will get boosted Floral Healing, but whatever. This is going to be a slow one, I think, regardless. Okay, Terra Fairy, they Dazzling Gleam. I set Tailwind with the Comfey. Okay, I mean, that's good to know about. Miraidon was always a threat to Koraidon. Dazzling Gleam doesn't do much to Lunala, though. Double recovery from leftovers and grassy terrain gets us back into Shadow Shield range. I'll just Calm Mind again. I can now throw a wood hammer at the Miraidon. It doesn't resist anymore. I actually think I'd rather hit the Comfey, because Comfey could be a real pain to deal with later in the game if I just leave it alone. They get their Terapagos in here. Pollen Puff, Lunala for a bit of chip. Okay, so I won't get back into Shadow Shield range this time. But I crit the Comfey with Wood Hammer. Don't know if that mattered. Knock it out. No Floral Healing for them. Or Pollen Puff, I suppose. Okay, they get Miraidon back in with its terrain. A little bit awkward that I don't have Protect on Lunala, which, you know, is something I called out in the team builder. Haven't seen Incineroar yet, but that doesn't mean they don't have it. But I think I'm down to... Am I going to sack Walking Wake here? That's sort of what I'm getting at, isn't it? Alright. Hey, Sun's still up. If it gets through this turn, I can get off Snarl or something. They Volt Switch Lunala. They bring in Sinistcha. Okay, they didn't bring in Incineroar. That's really good for Lunala. They're starting to Calm Mind the Terapagos. I mean, I think I'm down to just spam Snarl and Calm Mind here. Offsetting their special attack boosts. They do still get the special defense, but part of the reason I was so insistent on leading with Lunala and aggressively Calm Minding with it is that I'm ahead in the setup war. I didn't want to let Terapagos do this same thing by leading a different lead and saving Lunala for later. Taking some time. Yeah, another... Oh, this Snarl misses Terapagos. Uh-oh. Also, the Sun's going to wear off, so when Miraidon comes back in, Walking Wake will probably be slower, but it's fine. Actually, they KO Walking Wake here anyway. Matcha Gotcha. We get the burn. That's going to offset Lunala's recovery for the rest of the game, but I think... Here, I can go Rillaboom. They can't Rage Powder it because it's a Grass type. I think I can just throw a Wood Hammer into the Terapagos slot. In fact, I'm even going to double up with Moonblast and Wood Hammer. And then Miraidon can't safely switch in there. Yeah, there goes Terapagos. And they forfeit, I think. Looks like the game ended. Yeah, alright. See, setting aggressive. There we go. Lunala gets his moment to shine in its own video here, as aggressively setting it up pays off against an opponent who ran a similar setup mode, but not as aggressively. And yeah, I just didn't want to... I was thinking about the terrain control war there, right? Rillaboom and Lunala have a very strong position if grassy terrain is up, but Miraidon can flip things on its head if it gets the electric terrain in. And remember, the intention behind bringing Walking Wake in was just to sack it to get Rillaboom off the field and back in later. So I can't keep playing that game forever. I only have 4 Pokemon. I only have 1 more in the back after Walking Wake goes down. And so I didn't want to let Miraidon get in there for free, and I realized, oh, Lunala's at +5. And Wood Hammer is just so strong in grassy terrain. I can just take out the Terapagos here if they don't switch it out. So, made for a tough position for my opponent there. And again, Sinistcha couldn't Rage Powder the Rillaboom because Rillaboom's a grass type and therefore immune. Alright, let's get another one. Uh-oh. Alright, Shadow Rider Calyrex, Zamazenta, Qianpao, Galarian Weezing, Dondozo, and Tatsugiri. Dondozo, of course, probably has Unaware. They don't all run Unaware, but a lot of them do. If so, it can set up and ignore Lunala's setup. I mean, maybe I can beat it with Raging Bolt, it's possible. Also, they have a bunch of other threats to Lunala. Terra Fairy around these guys, and then this guy is a problem. Also, I don't want to get Lunala poisoned, we've been over that. I think I might actually lead Koraidon Raging Bolt into this one. Get the strongest Thunderbolt that I can into Weezing. Koraidon can threaten stuff. It can threaten these guys in the early game. It does make Dondozo an issue, but Raging Bolt is also one of my best bets against Dondozo. And then I think I'll bring Rillaboom, and I think I'll bring Lunala. Rillaboom also can threaten Dondozo. Of course, I have no idea what the Dondozo's Terra type is, which makes that Pokemon kind of a menace in closed team sheets. It's not a coincidence that I'm bringing my strong Electric and Grass types here. I did sort of forget that Raging Bolt would not get a Photosynthesis boost in this lead position, but I'm just going to Flame Charge the Calyrex. I can get to the... I can become faster than it and also break a possible Focus Sash. I'm going to Thunderbolt Weezing. If Weezing poisons these two, so be it. I don't want Lunala to get poisoned. Yeah, Poison Gas. It actually misses Koraidon, hits Raging Bolt. Here, I think I'll just double target the Calyrex with Flame Charge and Thunderclap. I'd like to not let it attack again. Oh, it's still faster than Koraidon. I guess it's Scarfed. Uh-oh. Well, and Lunala is definitely getting poisoned too. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think this is, I think this might be the end of the run, folks. Well, let's see. Grassy Glide. Moongeist Beam. They've taken out two of my Pokemon and they've poisoned the other two, so Dondozo should be able to just wear me down now. I assume that's what they have in the back. The way they're playing this, Tatsugiri. And if Dondozo comes in here, yeah, then Dondozo will take the Moongeist Beam. The Grassy Glide does nothing. I still can crit Dondozo, that's always possible. We'll also probably find out what its Terra type is, though. And look at that recovery with the terrain up, too. Woodhammer, Moongeist Beam. I can always crit. Not this turn because it's protected, but another turn I can crit. I'm actually kind of tempted to click U-turn to cover for Terra Grass. But I don't know what the chances of that are, and Woodhammer's just so strong. If they have Terra Grass, they have Terra Grass. Let's go. I could just forfeit here, really. I'm always losing to the Calyrex after this. This one's a different game, though. If yeah, if Koraidon is just faster than Calyrex after a Flame Charge, it must be Scarf Calyrex. So, tough. Well, now Woodhammer's still my strongest attack into this, with it being a Steel type. On Rillaboom, that is. Yeah, just a tough closed team sheet situation here. Oops. Bonk. I guess I'll start Calm Minding on the Protect turns. Probably won't make a difference into Dondozo, but if I do beat Dondozo somehow, it might be the key to the rest of the game. But that's not at all likely to actually work out. Just, you know, what else can I do here? This team was a real mixed bag. I ended up, considering there was a Calm Mind Lunala team, honestly, this team came out a little bit disjointed, right? Because roughly half of it is built for Calm Mind setup, and the other half is just aggressive Sun Hyper offense. I'm not sure that there was really much harmony between the different components of the team here, but the poison damage does add up now, huh? Now that I don't have terrain anymore. All right, we can forfeit. What was I saying? Yeah, but the team was a real mixed bag in terms of performance because there were some opponents whose teams were just overwhelmed by my offense. Or there was that one that was overwhelmed by Lunala aggressively going for Calm Mind. But then there were some matchups where my opponents set up whatever they wanted and I just had nothing. This is definitely not a consistent team, but it's a fun one in the right situations. I'm going to get one more game, and I think that's 3 losses, but I'm going to do one sort of send-off game, and I'm just going to aggressively Calm Mind Lunala no matter what. This is probably not a good matchup for that, but that is... Oh, is that Dark Arceus? This is probably not a good matchup for that, but that is what I'm going to go for here. I'm going to assume I want to Terrastallize Lunala in front of Fluttermane and Dark Arceus. The Lilligant is a serious problem, actually. I do have Goggles Incin, right? maybe Goggles was the best item for Walking Wake here. This Lilligant will be faster with Chlorophyll, right? Maybe I should have thought of Safety Goggles, Walking Wake. I'm going to do Lunala Incineroar lead. I'm going to bring Koraidon and... I don't love Walking Wake here because it'll be outsped by a couple of these, more in Tailwind. It is probably my best Groudon answer, though. Certainly a better Groudon answer than Raging Bolt. Alright, I'll bring Walking Wake, despite what I just said. This is the last game of the video, whatever happens. Do you think it has Covert Cloak? I think there's a good chance of that, yeah. Nonetheless, I'm going to Moonblast the Lilligant to try to cover for a Sash. If they put Lunala to sleep, that sucks, but there's not a lot I can do about it. I'm going to assume it has a Covert Cloak, or at least Terra Ghost, not Fake Out, just go straight for a Flare Blitz. Coaching. Okay, well I can take out the Lilligant here, and I don't have to worry about the Sleep Powder anymore. But Groudon is now at +1. Shadow Shield's still intact, but yeah, there's the Dark Arceus. I mean, I can Terra Fairy. Calm Mind. Knockoff? They'll probably KO Incineroar. They could miss their Precipice Blades or something, and being able to intimidate Groudon later potentially would be nice. They actually do miss Precipice Blades into Incineroar. They hit Lunala. Lunala gets +1. I actually think I might want to Wide Guard here and get a Parting Shot into Groudon, because those Precipice Blades are doing a lot. Get rid of the Clear Amulet. Arceus protects, which is nice. Yeah, we do stop the Precipice Blades. Get a Parting Shot into Groudon. I'll go Walking Wake here. Groudon has Terrasilize to Fire, and they don't have any speed control, so it's now vulnerable to Hydro Steam. I think I can grab a Calm Mind here. And alright, that was a quick one. Yeah, the plan there was Hydro Steam Groudon, Calm Mind Lunala, and Lunala probably 1v1's Arceus. We don't know Arceus' full set. But I doubt that this Dark-type Arceus can handle Fairy Lunala that's setting up in front of it. And yeah, just getting that threat into Groudon. I had Incineroar to pivot back in and Fake Out later. It's pretty unfortunate for my opponent that they missed that one Precipice Blades that I allowed them to go for into Incineroar. But there we go, Calm Mind Lunala. I definitely don't think this is the best Calm Mind Lunala team. I think it kind of went in a Sun Hyper Offense direction that maybe doesn't necessarily have the best synergy. Although, having hyper-offensive partners can be useful to bulky setup because they draw a lot of attention away, right? And we can see, you know, the Groudon was a threat here. It was doing a lot of damage, but as soon as I threatened it with Walking Wake, they forfeited. So there is something to be said for this. This is probably not the best version of a Calm Mind Lunala team, though, in Regulation J, but it looks like Calm Mind Lunala does kind of hold up. I was a little bit frustrated trying Calm Mind Kyogre and Calm Mind Arceus. Lunala is just so strong with the Shadow Shield. It has great typing. It has a really solid Terra type it can go to in Fairy. It gets Wide Guard to support its teammates. It definitely put in some work here and there in this video. I had to be a little bit deliberate about when and where I used it, but I definitely think Calm Mind Lunala is something worth further exploration in Reg J. And meanwhile, of course, we will be going back to the wheel next time, and as always, we will be seeing what Pokemon is next, whether it holds up as well as Calm Mind Lunala did.